Hey everybody, what's up? So it's me. I'm back at it again today. Ooh, look how high the walls are. Okay, anyways. I wanted to talk a little openly and candidly about some things that I think need to be addressed. So, why am I so vigilant? Like, if you have you ever seen that movie Vigilance? About the wife that was his pretty good girl. That's what the husband used to call her, his good girl. And then he would have her kneel down, Sadie, and break her arms as a way of making her always submissive to her, excuse me, or to him. And I was sitting here and I had a conversation this morning with my grandmother and I had my meeting with my therapist yesterday. So I'm talking to my elder women in the family about it, and then also my therapist. So in the therapy yesterday, I admitted that I carry around a lot of guilt because a lot of people think that I should have shot and killed my husband the minute that he hurt my daughter. But the reason why I didn't shoot and kill my husband when he raped my daughter is because I expected the law to provide us with the justice that we were supposed to have gotten. And we didn't get that justice or that day in court to plead our case and to do polygraph testing and to prove that all that shit actually happened and that they're not just sitting there acting, that is really everything that they did to us. We had to live it, me and my kids do, and we had to walk through that. We were going to walk out on the other side unbothered or untouched. And that's the thing about battered women syndrome and complex PTSD and ADD and all that stuff is those disorders create more disorders because your brain is frozen in fight and flight mode. And then I was sitting here talking to my therapist yesterday about trying not to fall back in the same patterns of picking the same kind of men that got me into this trap in the first place. And so I'm second guessing, questioning myself when it comes to meeting quality men. Like, I want a man who's not abusive, not a man who is abusive. And I shouldn't make another good man pay for the sins and past mistakes of my husband. So I'm doing therapy and unpacking my emotional baggage before I walk into my next relationship so my past doesn't tear apart my new relationship. And I'm not making my new future husband pay for a heart that he didn't break. Like, he's not the one that broke my heart. The husband that I'm divorcing right now did. And I don't want to carry in to the next relationship being so toxic and having so much emotional baggage that I feel like I'm not enough at the moment to be somebody's partner. Like, I haven't gotten my career completely up and running yet. I'm just now about to live on my own for the first time in my entire life. Like, I left my mom's house and went straight into my husband's house. And it's always been that way. Like, I was being married off before I even graduated high school. They had already picked out my husband and everything. Kind of like a little arranged marriage type thing, but not really. But I ignored all of the red flags in the beginning because I had such a messed up perception of what a good man is and what a good father is and what a good husband is that I didn't know I wasn't being valued as much as I should have been. I wasn't being appreciated as much as I should have been. I wasn't being protected as much as I should have been. I wasn't being loved as much as I should have been in a marriage, with that being my lifelong partner. That's who I'm not supposed to have to fear. But he became the one thing I fear the most. I don't fear leaving him. I fear staying with him and not making it out of the relationship and me being left for dead with this man. I don't fear leaving. I fear staying. And then there was another thing that we addressed with the domestic violence and the Stockholm syndrome and all of that is one, breaking the chains and of picking repeated men who aren't good for me and saying yes to the good guys and no to the wrong guys. And then it's also because my mom had such a messed up marriage herself. And I had to grow up watching my mom being abused and being neglected and everything. And I just remember as a kid sitting there looking at Johnny and my mom's marriage thinking, this is not what I want. Which is why I never wanted to get married in the first place. Because my mom had such a bad, horrible marriage with Johnny that I was terrified. I mean, terrified to get married. I have to trust that person to sleep next to me every day and not kill me in my sleep, not to hit me every time I do something that he doesn't like, or to take my children away from me and use them as pawns, or to financially abuse, domestic violence me when you try to steal all my money and leave me with no money, so I have to come to you for my every need. That's teaching me to be redependent upon you and to re-enter this abusive relationship and not escape it. It's like I'm being shoved back into this domestic violence relationship, and like they just don't care if I end up dead. Just as long as they don't have to take care of me or they don't have to deal with me, just shun her back to her husband, let her husband kill her. That's it. It's over and done with. Does that sound like justice? Does that sound like justice? Does that sound like justice has been served for me and Gracie? So what if me and Gracie do not wake up tomorrow morning and they came in and they murdered both of us? And you know that you knew everything that they had done, and yet you did nothing. You did nothing to protect us. You did nothing to save us. Actually, what you did is you became their enabler. And you enabled their bad behavior. You are Bobby and Josh's enablers. You enable them to keep acting out and to keep hurting people, letting them think that they can, when we're sitting here as their victims, telling them that you can't. My body is not your body. My body is my body. Do you know what it's like to have someone come in and take over your house and to steal all your stuff, and now you wake up one day and everything that you used to own isn't yours anymore? It belongs to them. Same thing with your body. This is my body. But I feel like strangers have moved into my body, taken my body over, and I have no say-so over my own safety or my own well-being. Because they take away your sense of safety and your sense of well-being. That's what, raping a woman and hitting a woman and stealing all the woman's money is not making you powerful, and it is not love. What you love is that everybody allows you to hurt this woman and nobody stops you. So you get some weird sixth sense out of hurting this woman, and it somehow makes you feel powerful to have control over this person. It's not love, it's lust. Love doesn't hurt. Someone who doesn't know how to love hurts you. Somebody who doesn't know how to be a good husband, or to be a good father, or to be a good partner, or to be a good spouse. You don't know how to be those things. So how could I ever expect those things from you? I would rather pack my bags and leave, knowing that I could not do anything to change you, instead of sitting there looking stupid, trying to change somebody who doesn't think that they're a problem in the first place. And if you've ever tried to change yourself, then you know how hard it is to change a complete stranger or somebody else. And then not only do I have to worry about this repeated abuse cycle of helping me choose better men than I had chose in the past, is also carrying around all of this guilt. So I admitted to my therapist yesterday that I harbor around a lot of guilt because I didn't shoot and kill my husband, because I didn't try to murder him. And I feel like I didn't do everything within my power to protect my child when the law and the police failed us. The judicial system failed us. They do not protect victims, they protect predators. The law is set up to protect the predators, not the victims. And then we're left stuck with all this emotional baggage and all this stress and all these injuries and Stockholm syndrome and PTSD and ADHD or ADD or battered women syndrome or whatever it is that has changed our brain to where we're not normal anymore. And we're not considered normal anymore because we do have these disorders because the justice system failed us so many times. It was not lack of courage. It was lack of help. We didn't get help from the police, even though I went to them. Didn't get help from the judge. Didn't get help from the U.S. Marshals. Didn't get help from the FBI. Didn't get help from anybody. So if I ever am forced to kill this man, you can't ever say it was my fault. Because I came to you and expected you to do the right thing and you didn't. You didn't uphold the law and you let my killer get away. So if I have to kill him for me and my daughter to be safe, then I guess that's what I have to do. Self-defense isn't murder. Murdering someone without a reason in cold blood is murder. Me protecting myself at all costs isn't murder. It's self-defense. And then little Joshua gets mad at me. And then he starts talking about how now I'm not behaving. He's going to go and flip my daughter over and rape her and beat her because I will not bow down to him. That's what he does. He uses my daughter as a pawn, him and Alicia do. And if I don't behave the way that they want me to behave, then they take it out on my children. They punish my children because I won't mind them. And then they try to gang train my children. And then Scoop and his mother hurt my daughter. I heard Scoop and his mother hurt my Gracie. I'm still not done with you yet. The beast in me has been sleeping, but it ain't dead. And now not only do I have to fix myself as a woman and another man's wife and another man's lover, I also have to fix my children's hearts that I didn't break, but because their stupid ass dad did. Their dads broke my children's hearts. And now I have to fix their hearts and put it back together again. I'm not just healing me. I'm also healing my children from the abuse and the attacks and the neglect. And how do I teach my son who's watched his father try to murder me? How do I, as a mother, teach my son how to be a better man, or how to be a better father, or how to be a better husband, or how to be a lover and a friend, and not to turn out as the same shitty men that I hate? I don't ever want my daughter-in-law to come to me and say, I hate your husband. You are the world's most horriblest mother. Why did you ever raise your son to be this way? I won't ever have to hear that. What I want my daughter-in-law to say to me is, thank you for creating such a wonderful human being that I could never imagine my life without him. I don't want my daughter-in-law to hate me the way I hate my mother-in-law. I want my daughter-in-law to actually like me and my son to fear me and know if he ever fucking put his hands on a woman in a disrespectful way, I as his mother would beat his ass. I as his mother would beat his ass if he ever tried to turn out like his father. So with that being said, and everything, and then like going through all of this. How do I teach my boys to be better husbands, lovers, friends, and fathers than the one that they grew up with? And I'm not even a father, I'm a mother. How do I train my children for my children to know that my daughter, most importantly, my daughter learns how a man is supposed to love her husband, or damn phone. My daughter learns how a man is supposed to love his wife after the mother and the husband are married. So once we get married and we have a daughter, you're the only outlook of what love is going to be for the rest of their life. So if my husband is not loving me properly, then that means that you are also teaching my daughter not to be loved properly, and that it's okay for a man to disrespect you. It's okay for a man to abuse you. It's okay for a man to do all of this. Not on my watch. Not with my children. I'd shoot you. And self-defense isn't murder. Maybe Joe Law should have stepped up and done something before it got so out of hand. Now you see we're both killers and we're both ready to kill each other. Because the law didn't protect me and Gracie. Does it look like I'm scared of him? Not anymore. He's already gutted me with the machete. I'm already dying. There's nothing left to fear but fear itself. But if I'm going out of this world, you're damn right I'm taking him with me. Just so my children can live a peaceful life without him. If that's what I have to do because the cops failed to do their job, that's exactly what I'm willing to do. This is what battered women syndrome looks like. This is what happens when we take too many punches and we take too many hits. And then we get raped and we get abused and we live with that day after 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 day. Same bullshit every fucking day because the cops won't do shit. Don't even know how to do a real investigation. And I gotta sit here and act like I like him when I really hate his guts. Where was the justice for me and Gracie? Is the only justice me and Gracie ever get is street justice because the cops are too chicken shit to handle Joshua and Bobby? Now you know why I said you should only hire military people, retired military people to be police officers. Civilians ain't got what it takes. Could you imagine one of these fat fucking cops running around trying to catch Rick Ross after he done pistol whipped somebody? Hell, they watched him do all this shit to me and they still haven't arrested him. Still don't think the cops are too chicken shit? Oh yeah. You're big chicken shit. Big, big chicken shit. You don't even know how to do your job. Civilians should never be cops. You're not trained good enough to be one. Especially if you're scared to apprehend the bad guy. That's what you're paid to do. You just like to sit in that cozy little office and just collect a paycheck without ever having to do any real police work. You're an amazing human being. Women like me should be fucking thrilled to have you. Or is it that right now, this very moment, there is a woman sitting in her living room, folding her husband's dirty ass laundry and her ungrateful kid's dirty ass laundry with a busted lip, 2 black eyes, 1 swollen shut, and her nose broke. But she's sitting there like a good girl, folding her husband and kids' damn clothes, while her husband sits there and beats on her every day and teaches her kids that it's okay to do that. And that is what love is. That's what my America is supposed to be. I'm supposed to co-sign and think that it's okay for every man who doesn't like his wife to murder her. That's why divorce was invented. So you don't have to stay married to people you don't like. It doesn't give you a right to kill someone just because you don't like them. Self-defense isn't murder, but killing someone in cold blood with absolutely no reason, that is murder. Or to anger, what was it? Oh, they said Jerry and Junior were sitting there to go to work on me so they could up their rank in their gang set. Because the more violent and criminal activities you do, the higher your rank is, kind of like military structure. You have, first sergeant, second sergeant, for whatever, and then all the way up to general and all of that. Same thing with gangs. They have the do boys, the shot callers, shot callers, and all the way up the chain. And then now that you didn't heed the warning, the gangs have gotten so far out of control here in Georgia that the cops don't even have any control over them. The gangs control Georgia, not the police officers. We need better cops. They don't know how to be any, and they sure as hell can't handle this shit. Or maybe they're just sick and tired of everybody calling them a snitch and a rat, that they just don't care about dying for you. And if you call 911 and tell them that your husband is beating you and has a gun to your head, they're probably not going to come out and to help you and put their life on the line. Because when your ass isn't in danger, you're calling them a snitch and a rat. The only time you think they're good enough to help you is when your ass actually needs some real help and he's really beating the fuck out of you. And then all of a sudden you want to dial 911 and all of us come to your rescue. Now that it's you on the line, now you want all of us to come to your rescue? But 5 minutes ago, we were a snitch and a rat. But now that somebody's got a fucking pistol in your face, now all of a sudden I'm supposed to be dialed on 911 and me come to save your fucking life, knowing that you don't even fucking like me in the first place. The only reason why you're fucking calling me is because your fucking husband is holding a gun in your face about to blow your ass away. But if that gun's not in your face and you think it's cool for him to do this shit. You think it's cool for him to do this shit. Just as long as the gun's not pointed at you. Now, Ma, tell me, what the fuck is the problem? Tell me, Ma, what the fuck is the problem? He's shitty to you. He's shitty to your kids. He's shitty to your family. Why would you ever want to keep him? Why would you ever want to keep a man like that? Do you even think a man like that is even a man? Real men don't hit. It takes a coward to hit. Rape and beating is about power, about gaining power over your victim. It is never about the act of sex, even though raping is having sex. It's never about the act of the sexual act. It's about that dominance and that power that they have over you, that they're like, I can kill you at any moment. I can rape you anytime I want. I can beat your fucking ass anytime I want because I'm a real one. This is what we do. I would never co-sign that. To say that it's okay for one man to murder his wife because he didn't like something about her is me co-signing for every man in this world to murder his wife just because he doesn't like her. Just because he doesn't like her, he gets to murder her. Because he fell out of love with her and fell in love with some other stupid big titty bimbo. Now all of a sudden she's got to die because her husband can't control his penis? No, not on my watch. Maybe you're the one that needs to get help, not me. You are my disorder. You are the reason why I have a mental disorder. Because you left me in all this dysfunction. You created this dysfunction and you left me in this dysfunction. And this is the reason why I'm so fucking dysfunctional and so fucked up in the head. Because you let them. And you told them that they could. Now deal with the fucking PTSD. Because that's what you caused. That's what you co-signed on. And that's what you set up to let him do to me. So you don't get to complain. You don't get to complain about a situation that you helped cause. Or the heart that you helped break. You don't get to complain about that. You got to learn to live with yourself and look yourself in the face. Every time you get in front of that mirror to brush your teeth, look at your face and see a pedophile. Because you let him get away with it, you're just as fucking ugly as he is. And you're still a pedophile just like he is. Just because you weren't the one that sucked her penis in her, you're still the one that helped him get away with it. That makes you a sex offender too. Peace out, bitches. Let's get these dirty bastards.